Round of the hand.
We could have homes on separate coasts, go dive in Greece with squids. Could have been so bleeping rich, but instead we had kids. They won't smile for a photo, they won't eat the food we choose. That's why we're heading to the Parents' Lounge to drown ourselves in booze. Every day we're more exhausted, we haven't slept in years. They hit me in the nuts so bad, my eyes filled up with tears. And yes, we'd like to fake our death and go off of the grids, but the truth is we are softies and we truly love our kids. So join us every Tuesday night to laugh at all our pain. Evening in the Parents' Lounge is the cure to staying sane. Welcome everybody to another edition of the Parents' Lounge. And I can tell you by the fact that we all arrived about 2 seconds ago.
2 seconds.
Two seconds ago.
Not me. Me and Brandon have been here for a half hour.
Oh, hey, Brandon.
Hey, Brandon. I am shaking. My wife's gone. It's just me and the two kids again. And it was an absolute S show. So I'm Jamie Kaler, Jason Gowan, Kate Mulligan. Thank you guys for tuning in. We have a fantastic show. We have a rarity tonight. She's been here before. She's one of our favorite guests and we love, so we keep asking her. She's the best. She's the best. But she is a child actor. This is going to sound absolutely insane. A very successful child actor who then went on to live a successful life. Mulligan?
It doesn't make any sense.
It's insanity.
She should have had so many problems by now.
I mean, there's been, a billion child actors in life. 4 of them have gone on to have successful, happy lives.
None of them is Haley Joel Osment.
And not a one is Haley Joel. He sees
It's
ghosts.
Her and Anson Williams, really.
Yeah.
Dude, he lost. Our buddy Anson Williams lost. He ran for mayor of Ojai.
Oh, he did. I didn't realize that.
He did. And it's too bad because now I'll never move to Ojai. That's it.
Well, I was going to say, does he worship crystals enough to become the mayor of Ojai? I feel like that is just like the hippiest, dippiest. They're all like,
early
but
on.
Are you gonna personally compost all of our food scraps? Like, I feel like that's what they're looking for in America.
I believe in one of his early press conferences, he said something derogatory about dream catchers, and that was it.
You're done.
What was that stuff that he was into?
It was really amazing. We should replay that sometime.
We should replay. That was our first episode.
It was designed to keep you awake if you were driving, right? It was drowsy drops or something.
Yeah.
And so you took a couple drops, and it was like a wake up call. If you were driving late at night and you were terrified you were.
I actually legitimately need that. If I ever am driving at 4 p.m., that's always the time I get the sleepiest, and it's like deeply dangerous.
He was the first guest to come on the show and just tear me apart too verbally. It happens from time to time.
Well, I don't like him.
He was the first guest we had, so he.
Oh, really?
So right after, yeah.
Every guest tears. I mean, and then you and I tear him apart.
I know. You're just not safe.
Katie remembers that episode.
She was on that episode, actually.
She was.
I love Kate. Who's funnier than Katie?
Nobody,
God.
Except
everyone.
Except no.
We have, listen, let's just get into it because honestly, my wife's out again. Like she keeps having work dinners conveniently on Tuesday nights, and I'm shaking.
So she's feeling better, Kaler.
Yeah. Well, this is a work dinner. She's at a work dinner.
Okay.
We'll talk about that. I went to Mulligan's party, an age party. We won't say what. Honestly,
41.
I
I'm 41.
Video of you doing Tina Turner at the live band karaoke because that was quite possibly the greatest performance.
I do somewhat. Some people filmed it.
I have seen the recording of it.
Oh,
How did you see a recording of it?
I sent him.
I know a lot of people.
I sent him 15 seconds of it.
Oh, that's fine. I was like, wait, did it play somewhere?
I saw it at the Lemley. The Lemley Arts.
No, I was worried somebody had posted it. Wait, but Kayla, can I just say, what percentage of people really interpreted that as me being drunk? What was your take on that performance?
Well, nobody who knows you thought you were drunk.
Everyone
just knows you're clinically insane. And
insane. Because I'll tell you what, there was an after party at my house. That was the biggest mistake of the night. A bunch of us, like Mark and Sean and my sister, and like all of us came back to my house. That's where the damage happened, because I was not okay the next 2 days. But at the party, I was really, really fine.
It was a great, by the way. Fantastic party. It was amazing. It was absolutely amazing.
Thank you.
All right. Hey, listen, without further ado,
let's bring her.
She's one of our favorite moms. She's a wonderful actress. She's worked forever. You'd know her from Step by Step. She also directs The Goldbergs right now, which is arguably one of the funniest shows on TV. Please welcome Christine Lakin.
Hey,
buddy.
Hi, guys. I'm back.
It's so good to see you again.
It's so good to see you again.
Remember when you did stand up for the first time ever and murdered?
Oh, God. Okay. You know what? I was just talking about this with somebody, because we were talking about, like, I was in this class and we're talking about risks and taking risks and doing stuff that, just for the sake of art. And I was like, we were all sharing, and I was like, well, I got one. I did stand up and I didn't know what I was doing. But you know what? I'm really glad I did it, because is that my calling? I don't know, but I enjoyed it. I had fun with you all. You were super supportive. And, I felt like for me, that was like a big risk. That was like a big vulnerability moment of just get out there, write the thing and do it. So,
and the 9 people that came to that show really enjoyed it.
I'll tell you what.
Yeah.
Bro, I mean, you did it like a talented actor. It's like Tom Hanks in Punchline. He's playing a stand-up comic, but he's a stand-up comic because you wrote an amazing monologue of jokes and then get up and performed it. And it was like, everyone was like, honestly, we're not used to that, because mostly comics aren't that prepared. Comics get up and go, well, how much time do I have left? What else happened today? Oh, I went to the grocery store.
Probably rambled a little more. Yeah.
I'll tell you what, my husband was into you and Eddie Pence. He came back and he's like, I love those two. And I was like, do you remember when me and my friends did stand up too? Do you remember? He was like, sure.
I
know. He hears you all the time. So
I used to really like him.
Yeah. It's like when someone else makes the meatloaf, it's more delicious than when you make it.
Holy crap,
always tastes better.
Gibson.
Somebody brings it to your house, and you don't even have to see it get made. That's when it's the most delicious.
Yeah,
that's the most
true.
You
guys, what's been popping?
You've had some crazy mom stuff happening.
Yeah, Jason says that you have a story that rivals the Hawaii story.
The Hawaii story, by the way, is one of the greatest stories of all time.
Is that possible?
There is. I mean, that was one of the worst travel experiences I've ever had in my life. This is one of the worst sort of start to a year home problem experiences. I know that we've all we've been in California. People are probably sick of us talking about our leaks and our things and whatever.
But I remember seeing you had leaks on Instagram. I feel like there was but it was the first rains. It wasn't even these last crazy ones.
Yeah, wasn't even the last crazy ones. So this is basically what happened. January 1st rolls around. First of all, I decided to have a New Year's Eve party. I haven't had one since 2019. Might have been arguably the best party of the decade, considering what 2020 brought us. People were literally like, that was the last best party I was ever at. I'm like, the only good thing about that is that you remember it that way, because it was literally the last party you ever went to. It was a great party, but even so. So I was like, you know what? It's time. 2022, it's been years. We're ready to go. Like, let's make this happen. It's going to be on the smaller scale, but, we'll have some people. We'll do this thing. I don't know if you remember what New Year's was like here. It was torrential downpours. I had already invited all these people to my house, and I was like, what the hell am I going to do? So 3 days before, I'm calling like AAA rental company. I'm like, can I get a tent? How much is a tent? And I'm just like throwing money at the problem, trying to get a tent. We couldn't even go outside until 11:30. Like, my husband was out there with like a Coors Light, like trying to make it cool, but nobody wanted to be out there because the rain was sideways. Like, it was a nightmare. Okay.
And were you worried about people being inside because of COVID, or were you just like, oh, my house just can't hold all of these people?
I didn't really care so much about COVID. Like at that point, I was just, I was like, what happens.
Yes.
We might all get COVID.
Right.
But it was more the fact that we had redone our deck. We had a nice fire pit.
Raining
out. We were ready to have
my
party.
kids in the house. I don't want my kids to run in and out of the house after, like with the rain.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, all of that. So anyway, that's how the year starts. We get into like the early days of January. It's still raining. It's raining for days on end. Our office, which used to have a small leak, now has a massive leak. We have 14 pots and pans in there. Can't get anybody to come out and take a look until after, the rains have subsided. We finally get, some guy to come out and like start looking at it on the very same day that I'm like, ugh, massive leak. Like my mom's like, you're going to have to take down all that drywall. All that drywall's got mold under it. And I was like, ugh, she's right. So I'm already dealing with that. This is maybe January 6th or 7th. The same day, I'm like, weird. The toilet's flushing weird. What's going on? Did one of the kids throw something down the toilet? I'm like, did you throw something down there? And Baylor's like, no. And I'm like, are you sure you didn't put like a lot of toilet paper or throw like a tiny toy car down there? No, Mama, I swear. I'm like, all right. So my husband plunges it. Oh, it feels like it's working well. Couple more flushes. Nah, it's doing the same thing. I'm like, just call Roto-Rooter. I can't deal with this. Like, we need a professional. I love you, sweetie, but a plumber, you are not. So get the guy over there. Like, let's make this happen. He gets down in there. He's doing his thing. He's like, yeah, there's definitely a clog. Definitely a clog. I'm like, did you find a toy car in there? He's like, no, I didn't. No toy car. But it is definitely, I think you've got tree roots. They put a camera down. Oh, yeah, you've got tree roots. And I know a lot of people dealt with this whole tree root issue. So like, okay, we're gonna hydrojet it.
Hydrojet, there it is.
Sounds great. It all sounds like a colonic for your pipes.
Yep.
So they start hydrojetting. They're like, yeah, it's not working. We got to bring in the big guns. I'm like, what does that even mean?
Yeah,
we got to come back with like a different pressure system. So they're like, yeah, we'll be back in like 30 minutes. They come back with a different pressure system. They start getting it. They finally get the whatever the clog is. They finally get it through the tree roots. But in doing so, the pressure had built up so much that it exploded.
Nope.
Under our home.
Nope.
In the crawl space.
Nope.
Yep. We had raw sewage under our house. All of a sudden, I'm like, weird. It smells like a porta potty. My husband's like, yeah, there's tiny spillage under the house. I'm like, tiny spillage? Are you joking me?
What does one do when under the crawl space the pipes have exploded?
You have to call a separate service, which is like the service that comes out to basically deal with effed up stuff like this.
Like the same people who clean up murder scenes, basically.
Yeah, murder scenes.
It's all the forensics.
Okay. With the Karen Silkwood metal brush shower things.
Because also, who wants to go under the house crawling around in raw sewage?
Oh my God. It was so gross. The house starts to stink. Okay. And I'm like, wait, we got to get this team out here tonight. It's 5:30. The guy's like, I'll try to call him. He's like, yeah, they can't make it. It's 5:30. This is like a Saturday. This is like Saturday at 5:30. And the rain is starting again on Sunday. They're like, they can't come till Tuesday.
What?
I'm like,
meanwhile, I guess I'm trying to figure out there is actually just a pipe that's not attached to anything under your house now. So every time you flush.
Well, no, the pipe had tree roots. They were able to like get that part out, but they were like, maybe don't, until we can fix it, maybe don't use toilet paper. So basically we're living in Greece. What? We're not using toilet paper. It smells like a porta potty, and we're putting all of our toilet paper into trash cans and then taking it out like every 36 hours,
oh my God.
And just the thought of it, like we closed off that site, like we closed off where it was really bad. There was a lot of incense going. Like it was just, the thought of it was so bad. The smell was also not great. They finally came out. They were able to muck it. They muck it. They put kitty litter down. They put fans. It took like 2 weeks to get the stench, but that's not even the beginning of it. They go, okay, so by the way, this is also not covered under insurance. By the way, so these tree roots, like we can fix the pipes, but it's a lot of pipes that you've had since like 1955. they all, we have to fix basically every single pipe that goes out to the sewer. So, the new car that I thought I was getting is now like going into the pipes.
Yep. It's just something you can't see.
Like the other weird thing is though, when we put the camera down, it shifts off this way. Is there like another, what's this way? And I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. They're like, do you have a septic system? I said,
nope.
Well, we used to, like from 1955 when the house was built. They're like, yeah, I don't think that was really dealt with properly. And I think you're going to have to, I think stuff might be going in. I don't know if it's going in there. It's not really like blocked off properly. There's stuff. I'm like, oh my God. So now I'm just thinking to myself, there's like a pile of SHIT sitting in a drain, like a pit that we've been collecting, possibly from the house.
You have antique poop.
Poop.
It's like classic poop.
You've got fossil
It's not
poop.
current poop. It's classic poop.
Then I went back to 2019, and those 160 people, they're at my house. They were like, "That was the best party ever."
All their DNA. All of their DNA, you have it. You could sell that for a lot of money.
Oh my God, you guys. So anyway,
we're going to have to dig the whole thing up and take it out, it feels like.
No, the way they do it, it's very, look, I know more about this than I ever cared to know. They have to go in, they have to pump it out, then they slurry it, which means some guy comes and he just puts a whole bunch of like asphalt and slurry, because otherwise it could turn into one day, possibly, depending how old that thing is, which ours is 80 years, a sinkhole of poop that your children could randomly be playing on and die in. Can you imagine?
No.
Oh, how did your children perish? In a pile of SHIT on the side of my house.
Yes. Yeah.
I
had a great party in 2019.
That was my nightmare for the next 3 weeks until that could happen. No one could go out into the yard because I was like, suddenly, like the yard we played on for 5 years, you might die in a poop hole.
I mean, how many people do you think are in similar situations because the rain has like brought all of these things literally and figuratively to
literally Cheryl Gibson with the line of the night so far.
Yeah.
It's a shit. Let's say it. It's a shit storm. That was an
absolute. It was absolutely beyond. So I just want to say that in the coming weeks, we then had over the course of I think 3 weeks. There were people in our house every day. I mean, people were either trying to figure out how to mitigate this leak, which that took 3 or 4 different excavations of how to figure out how to do that. Drywall coming down, people excavating the. It was like a something out of Temple of Doom. People were like excavating the backyard, putting slurry in the backyard, ripping the street up. My neighbors were not happy. All very nice to our face, but I can't imagine they were happy. One man yelled, I don't know who he is, but he was yelling at someone in the middle of the street. I mean, it was just a total nightmare. And all that to say is like, my husband and I were both like, wow, I think I can finally, my car is 15 years old, you guys. I was like, I can finally get a new car this year. This is great. I'm really excited. I've been saving up. I'm not going to be getting a new car, but what I can tell you is that if you would like to come over and tinkle or do number 2s in my house, it is ready for you. It is ready for you. It is ready for your friends. And then we can get in my 15-year-old car and I'll drive you home.
Christine, not to the same extent, but there was a day during the rain recently, this was like 2 weeks ago, where my son went outside and he's like, what happened here? And we have 2 clean outs in our front yard, and the clean out cap was off and there was toilet paper all over our driveway.
Oh no.
And I was like, Dickie's like, what's going on here? He's like, you think an animal got into that? I'm like, no, I think we need to get hydrojetted again. I hydrojetted a year and a half ago because we know we have the root problem. Yeah. So the plumber came out and he's like, yeah, it's roots everywhere. So he hydrojets the whole thing. And then 2 days later, I have to call him back because I open up my under my sink and there's just a puddle of water under the sink.
No.
That was amazing, narcolepsy. Please don't tell me that.
27 says, please don't tell me the 15-year-old car also doesn't have an
unknown septic system.
Let's hope not.
If you ever tell that as a bit, that's the closer.
That is.
By the way, I took my 15-year-old car in for a new tranny, and the guy goes, "You're not going to believe this. There's a septic system. There's a septic tank."
Oh, God.
Oh, anyway, it turns out my garbage disposal was leaking, so we had to get a brand new garbage disposal, but I don't know how long that leak had been there under the sink. So now you're making me feel like I should have done more about possible mold that's growing under the sink now.
Oh, God.
We had to dig up the whole pipe system.
Are you guys watching The Last of Us? Because it's all I can think about now. It's like mold and what's going to happen, and like the mold is going to become a person, and then it's going to kill us one day.
Yeah. Do you know why? Do you know why I'm watching The Last of Us? Is to
play the game?
Well, no, I was gonna say it's to feel really good about the pandemic we had.
Right.
I'm like, oh, we did great.
Bad.
We didn't shoot each other. I don't even mind. Okay, so a bunch of people wouldn't get vaccinated, wouldn't wear masks. We did great. We didn't
turn into a mushroom.
Yeah, we were fine. Like,
it's crazy how this part of the country, we don't take rain well. It's so nuts because everything we're not built for rain. It's like flash flood central because it can't hold the rain. When I lived in Santa Monica, I was in this apartment like when I first lived here, second in Washington in Santa Monica, the Sovereign Hotel, and all of a sudden I woke up. It was pouring rain, and I woke up and I was like, "What is that smell?" And it had backed up through the shower.
No.
And flooded my apartment.
No.
Like an inch or two, and my whole apartment was like black, like, poopy water, poopy soup. And long story short, the apartment, they brought in like the crazy clean crew. That's how I knew they came in, scrubbed the whole place down. And then they said, you can file a suit with the state. And so I filed a suit, and there was a list of like, declare everything that was destroyed. And I listed everything in my apartment, whether it had been destroyed or not. And I listed I'm going to say like $27,000 worth of like anything. And the dude, I was like, this is never going to fly. And I got a call a month later out of nowhere. And this guy goes, hey man, you're not getting 27. He goes, and we talked for like 20 minutes. It was hilariously funny. And then finally he goes, I'll give you 14. And then he gave me 14.
You were like, deal.
And we bargained. He goes, list all the stuff. I go, towels? All right, towels. And then I started listing like crazy things. He's like, not a chance. You're not getting that. You're not getting that.
You're like, I got a Garfield phone. I got a bunch of old 3-ring binders.
Those Garfield phones go for high-end money now.
Yeah.
See, Jason knows.
It was an apartment. It was in the basement. It was like my first apartment. It was in the basement across from the laundry room. And I can't tell you how many times, literally in the middle of the night, people would try to come into my door, try to get into the laundry room. And a couple of times my door just hadn't locked it or whatever. And in the middle of the night, like 3 a.m, all of a sudden the door opened and this guy with a laundry basket walked into my room, my apartment. It was a little one bedroom. And I was like, get out of here.
Wait, also, I don't understand, Kayla, because to me, you should be able to claim your bed, whatever. If the water touched the feet of your bed, you get a new bed, don't you?
Well, it was partitioned off. It really only got, it didn't get to the bed. It didn't get to, honestly, I can't believe I lived there for 2 more years. I'm sure there's mold in my system that is never coming out. But yeah, isn't it? It feels so invasive.
Oh my God.
I'm shocked you guys just didn't, like a hotel or something just to get it.
When I texted Jason, he was like, hey, would you like to come on the show? I was like, sure. And then this was going on, and I was like, I have such a story for you. I was so in the middle of my feelings about it. Oh, and right during that whole time, my son and I both got the flu.
Oh, no, kids were sick for 6 weeks over the holidays.
Oh my
Everybody
God.
We're on month 2.5 of sickness here. They just keep trading it back and forth.
But you haven't
I'm just convinced I'm never going to stop coughing.
Yeah,
Kate wins the. My kids were sick for the last few months.
It was a bad situation. It was bad. And it's actually unfortunately not over. My son has had strep throat 3 times in a row. They put him on 3 different antibiotics, and I can hear. Do you know when someone has strep throat and their voice sort of changes? It goes to the back of their throat because they can tell those. He sounds like that again tonight. I'm like, this is good. And he finishes really strong antibiotic on Friday. So that means he had 4 good days. Anyway, that wasn't even the sickness. It's much, whatever. Bottom line is, what the heck, 2023?
What the heck?
Cut Christine Lakin
cut us all a break. I don't know. I mean, I feel like everybody's had a pretty crap start of this year. I don't know what's happening. I don't really follow the things, but people were telling me the stars were all doing weird things and it's going to get better. I mean, I hope so. But it's been a rough start.
Just weather-wise. And it's funny because we're kind of the first step for every storm, because like the East Coast just sees what's coming here and then it just travels right across. Yeah. So apparently it's like another month of rain. And here's what's crazy. So my daughter Claire is like, I love soccer, and she loves soccer. So I joined her on a club team. And so we joined this club soccer team, and we joined in November. She hasn't gone to a practice or a game that has not been under 53 degrees or pouring rain. Like, so she's like, last week, she's like, I hate soccer. I don't want to go to practice anymore. I'm freezing. The kid's in a thermal hat with gloves. We're in California. And she's like, and I go, it's going to get warm. It's going to get warm. I've been saying that for like 2 months. It's going to get warm. I swear to you, it's not getting warm. Which is another tournament this weekend. And it's supposed to rain Friday into Saturday. And I'm like, oh my gosh.
But, I also feel like everyone on the East Coast is like, really?
I know. Really? My buddy's like 50. Oh, well, I would kill somebody for 50 degrees. I get it. Yeah.
Hold, please, let me just check. Currently it is 23 here.
Oh, that's right. Our pal Jason. Jason, tell us what it's 23 degrees.
The air hurts my face.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, though, Jason. Here's the thing. You signed up for it. You knew you lived in Pennsylvania. We specifically came here.
Yeah, we aborted.
For careers, but also we were told this was the Sunshine State.
We were told your taxes will be so high because it will never rain.
It will never rain. Yeah. This was a curveball that none of us saw coming.
The crazy thing is, like, we were just in Lake Arrowhead right before this.
Oh, I was going to say, our buddy's stuck there right now.
Yeah. And it was like when the first rains came, it wasn't quite cold enough to snow, but it was like we went up. I got a cabin for my husband's birthday. Beautiful place. We got 3 days up there. We didn't realize we could see the lake until the day we left, because it rained the entire time. And we never left the cabin because what we were going to do. But, I had gotten him a PS5 for his birthday. So my kids discovered video games, and we sat in a beautiful cottage and played video games and other games and, made Manhattans. And that was great. And then the day we left, I'm like, okay, cleaning up. And I looked out the window and I was like, oh my God, we have a lake view. Like, I never knew.
That's hilarious.
But there are people there who are, they're like completely snowed in, and their houses are covered in feet and feet of snow. It's horrible. It's such a problem.
Our buddy Jason, Derek Hayes, who did the show with us once. He's the Monsters Among Us host. He and his wife are snowed in, and everybody's houses around them, the roofs are collapsing in Lake Arrowhead.
Yeah,
it's awful because they're just not, built
and that's right.
Snow.
Florida's the Sunshine State. My bad. What is California then?
It's also funny too.
Marijuana state.
The marijuana state. Thank you. Whew, okay, there it was.
I think it's a lot of marijuana states now. It is funny too, because you start to go, as soon as you think everything's kind of locked in, like, all right, man, everything's clicking. We're all on the right page, and you know what? I'm going to get a new car this year. I'm going to do this, and then my washing machine broke 3 days ago. It was like again, and I'm so Golden State.
Thank you.
And you're like, oh, okay. And so it's like the garage door, or every now it's like, it's so frustrating.
What would be?
I miss being a renter. I really do sometimes.
I know. And not only that, then you're like, what's a good time right now? Good time for this is a strike. Good time would be a strike for all.
I wasn't going to bring
all
it
of
up.
Our union.
I wasn't going to bring it up, but yeah, apparently.
I mean, I feel laugh about it because it's
it's crazy times, man.
Well, that's
crazy times, and it's pretty crazy.
That's wild,
my
right?
daughter, so this happened to us this week. My daughter, she did a mission project, and she checked out a library book on Mission Santa Clara, and she hadn't turned it in, and the teacher said she was in big trouble. She kept coming home in tears. I can't find the book. I don't know where the book is, Daddy. And so I go, well, let's look. And we couldn't find it. I said, just tell her we can't find it. If we have to, we'll replace it. She comes home the next day. I go, did you tell her? She goes, no, I got scared. I just told her I forgot. And she kept doing that like 3 straight days.
Aww.
And so it gets ugly. The teacher's like, hey, you're going to get a blue slip. You're going to get in trouble and you have to go to the principal if you don't bring this book back. And she still just keeps going, oh, I forgot. And so I write the teacher. I write her an email and I say, listen, I tell the whole story. We've torn the room apart. We've thrown out so much stuff. We've looked everywhere. I cannot find the book. I will replace it. But I don't tell my daughter that I emailed the teacher. And I said, she needs to learn to come to you and be honest and say, hey, I screwed up. I'll do what I can. I'm so sorry. She won't do it. So the final day, she's going to get the blue slip. I walk her to school and she's like outside. She won't go in the classroom. She's leaning against the door, like shaking and sobbing. I can't go in. I look in. All the other kids are like looking out, like 30 kids are looking out. The teacher's like, what's happening out there? I go, you got to tell her. Be honest. Just tell her. And she's like, I can't. Tears are streaming. And so finally I go in, the teacher comes out and she's like, it's going to be okay. And she goes, I can't find the book. I can't find it. I don't know where it is. And she goes in, but I had already told the teacher. So the teacher was super cool. And later that day, I get an email from the librarian who says, dear Mr. Kaler, I am so sorry. Hannah had turned the book in 3 weeks earlier. And had not, and the librarian had not checked it off that it had been turned in. And I was like, I didn't make her feel, I said, honestly, I'm going to tell you, like Hannah's room, we cleaned it out and like threw out 2 full trash cans. I posted on my stories, like full trash cans of garbage. And we organized their desks. And they found all these other things and like, oh my God, it's amazing, like 4-hour experience that I had to almost beat them senseless to get it done.
Yeah.
So I was like, honestly, it actually worked out pretty well. We got a room cleaned or whatever. And so next time my kids their room is just an absolute disaster, I'm going to talk to the librarian.
Yeah.
To tell her,
be like,
you got to find it.
I'm going to need you to run that scheme again.
I'm going to take the library book and just hide it somewhere in the room and make her find it. They clean the room. But it was so fun. So Hannah comes home that day. She goes, you're not going to believe what happened. I go, the librarian found the book. She goes, yeah, I can't. I go, I hope you didn't make her feel bad about it. It's like this beautiful old woman. She's like so sweet.
I know, but also, Kaler, she had one job, and it was to cross that book off, and that book had come back in. You know what I mean?
Question for Christine: Who was your favorite person? Who was your favorite person to hang out with on Step by Step?
Oh, I guess it depends kind of on like what year it was, because when I was really young, I mean, I shared a school trailer with Brandon Call when we were really young. Aww. And of course I thought he was like really cool. So I was like always, trying to befriend him and look cool in front of him. And then when we were older, I really gravitated towards the other girls, Stacey Keenan and Angela Watson, and we hung out a lot. We were like really very tight. So yeah, that was probably, I wanted to be like them, I wanted to I idolized them a little bit and thought they were like older sisters. Like they had the best fashion. They knew like all the music. They drove cool cars. Wherever they wanted to eat, they were vegetarians. I wanted to be a vegetarian. We had like that. Yeah.
Are you still in touch with I imagine like you guys played a family. Like, did it feel like a family, or was it more like, no, we're doing great acting, none of us have any interaction outside of these walls?
No, it really very much felt like a very tight-knit group. And I mean, I was 12, so I didn't have a whole lot to compare it to at the time. But now looking back on it, we just finished a 10-year run on the Goldbergs. Okay. I've been working on that show for 10 years. 5 as a director, 10 as a choreographer. And I, after 10 years and going to that wrap party a couple weeks ago, knowing that the show is ending, but knowing also like how much I've grown from that show gave me my first directing gig. how I've seen, like, literally Sean was like a tiny little person and now he's an adult. I mean, so many of us have grown so much from that show. I have so much gratitude for it and for all the people on it, for the camaraderie, for the support from the crew. They watched me literally come in and I was like teaching, Troy and Sean like Beastie Boy moves, and then I'm like directing 5 years later. So I've done that before. And I said to Sean, I was like, I've had the magic of being able to experience this twice in my life. And that is something I will never take for granted, because I just don't know that something this long running, that has this much gratitude, has this much camaraderie amongst all the people who work on it, like, you can feel it. And I hope that and I know you do, like, how rare this is. It's really rare, because I've also worked on other shows that don't feel like that, and that you can tell that people don't really like each other or don't make the effort or whatever it is, right? And so I do think that so much of it has to do with the people who are at the top. It has to do with the producers. It has to do with the stars, mostly, because those are the people who are there every day. Like, it's who sets that vibe. And, like, Wendy McClendon was a genius at that, and as was
the way I feel about her, just from Reno 911.
I know.
She's
the best. She's
my true north, man.
And, like, Patrick Duffy and Suzanne Summers were just the same. Yes. They were there to have fun. They were there to do the work. They were there to be nice and kind, and, like, it's So it really was. It was awesome. I mean, I still talk to Stacy. We have a podcast we've been working on for the better part of a year, which we'll get around to releasing eventually. But I talked to her the other day, and she was like, I know, I'm sorry. We have a lot to talk about. I'm getting pulled into a murder trial, so I can't really. I'm gonna have to talk about it after.
She's a lawyer now, right?
Great, cool. You do that. Go get him. Go get him.
The kids and the Goldbergs. I mean, you couldn't have been a better influence or advisor. Did you see anything that they were going through that brought back crazy memories of, like, let me tell you right now, like, because it's such a unique thing to grow up in front of the camera like that. There's only, not that many people who know it. So for you to be able on set and be like, hey, listen, just to let you know, here's how this plays out. I mean, did you see stuff that kind of mirrored stuff you went through?
Yeah, I definitely had some conversations, not only with Sean's mom, when she was on set a lot before he was 18, she and I spoke a lot, and just about, like, okay, well, what about college, and how did you make that work? And what do you, what was your journey? And, Troy and I had many conversations about what happens after the show. And what do you want to do, and how do you navigate?
That sets in right at the end of the show as you're like, wait, my life is totally, because especially 10
how do you
years,
navigate?
Or a 5-year run, 10 years.
10
how
years.
old was he when he started? He was.
I think Troy was 18. I think he was 18 playing like 15 or something. Yeah. I know he was at least emancipated. I think Sean was the only one who was under 18.
He was under 18. And now he's what, 23,
24?
I just learned the expression legal 18.
Right. So you can be emancipated. You can be 16 or 17 and be emancipated to work adult hours. Yes. But that's like your parents have to sign off. You have to take a certain test. You have to, it's a whole thing to me.
I'm like, I said to my husband when he was casting a show, I was like, if they're legal 18, I don't trust their families. I was like, their families want this too badly that they're.
Speaking of which, Kate, I saw the trailer for Aaron and Aaron, and it looks fantastic. Kate's husband's new show. Can we talk about Aaron on Nickelodeon premieres?
Yeah, Nickelodeon. Awesome. Aaron and Aaron. It's about siblings,
kid musicians, kind of Brady Bunch it a little bit into a
boy Aaron and a girl Aaron, and they become a blended family. And they sort of, the way that they bond is through music. She's, he's a little bit classic. She's a little bit rock and roll sort of situation.
Love that.
So it's a musical show too. They're going to have like 1 or 2 big set pieces during it.
Yeah. Yay, that's awesome.
Christine, knowing that you're a choreographer too, we're going to have to make sure we get you.
Oh yeah. Anytime you need a little
I mean, I know probably Nickelodeon's not what you're.
Oh, I do it all.
You're on network now. You probably don't need Nickelodeon. But
you do High School Musical the series too, right?
Yeah, I directed an episode of for them last season.
Yeah.
I did not choreograph. They have their own choreographer that does all. He's wonderful. His name is Zach Woodley, and he did all of oh my God. The other musical show that we all know,
Glee.
Gave my Glee. Thank you. I was like, hello. That's not the name. Hello, Glee. He's wonderful. You guys, I've had such a long day.
I want to see the show Hello.
I do
By the way.
too.
God, Hello is a great show.
You know what's really funny though? This is so random. So I act still, but I do it. I do lots. I have lots of jobs. I'm not. I never say never to anything anymore, work wise. And so I got this guest star randomly on The Rookie at the beginning of the year, and it comes out in a couple weeks. But anyway,
is that DC Nash?
No, it's the other one. It's the original Rookie with Nathan Fillion.
Okay. Sorry.
But I play like a total uptight, bitchy Karen type, who's rich and her help keeps dying, and she's sort of like, I don't know. Oh, the cops are here. It's just like a total nightmare. Anyway, it was super stupid. It was really fun. We had a great time. Everyone is so nice on that set. Like, can't say enough about Nathan Fillion. Wrote me a handwritten note that was in my trailer thanking me for being there when I got there. Like,
what? Really
kind. Anyway, we had a blast. So then I get this call like 3 weeks later from the UPM, the unit production manager, who's like, hello, I think you were just on our show as an actor, but I got your name. I hear you also choreograph. Is this weird? I was like, this is not weird. No, sure. I can switch hats. What's up? What do you need? They're like, we need someone to come in and teach some hip hop. And I was like, great. Let me know when you need it by.
That's hilarious.
So then like 3 weeks later, I'm teaching hip hop. Like no one recognized me. I was, of course, wearing like a backwards hat and a hoodie, and it was like a totally different. I wasn't with Nathan.
Like,
I was
where's my handwritten note, Nathan?
You should have Karen'd it. I can't believe we're doing hip hop.
What is this?
What is this?
The cops are here.
What country are you from? You're doing hip hop? We don't. It's not in this.
My life is so strange, you guys. But this is what we do as artists. I feel like we're just always doing crazy things.
That's how I met Jason. I'm an actor, and then I got wrangled in to host a ghost hunting show. Like they were like, you want to host a ghost hunting show in Nashville? I go, that sounds epic. Yes, of course I do. And that's how I felt. It's like I'd never done anything. That's how we do it.
But Jamie, you also have like a very varied life. You also were in the Navy. You also were a stand-up that traveled with the Blue Collar Comedy Tour. Like your life is not.
No, that's how I'm saying. I'm saying,
you're
call out of the blue and go, hey, you want to do this? You're like, Matt, you know what I'm doing? Actually, our buddies at 16600, I am going up to moderate a wine tasting event in Sonoma.
How did you manage that?
I know, right?
Come on.
I was like, can this be a full-time job? This feels. I go, what do I do? He goes, just be witty, be funny, host the event. And then, taste all the wines. I go, sold. So he goes, we're going to have to play golf on Friday. I go, all right, I'll see what,
That's like me hosting like a tequila and nap event.
Yes.
Can I go
drinking tequilas, then tell everybody to go nap and moderate the naps?
Of course. Yes. I'm all over that. That's fantastic.
That would be like if Costco called me and was like, could you please stand in the store and give everybody the prepackaged margaritas? I'd be like, okay, fine. Kirkland margarita.
I guess if you do it on your own enough, they eventually will offer that.
Honestly, that's why I keep trying, Jason. Thank you.
I had to do ADR today for Tacoma FD, and my daughter was going with me, and I had in the morning, and I had to go do, and she's like, "What is ADR?" And I was trying to explain to her, when you shoot this thing, and I was doing this thing, you have to go in and kind of mimic what you're saying, and she was like, "Why would you do that? Why don't you just record it the first time?" And I go, "That's a great question. Why don't you just record it?"
There was a plane.
There's a sound guy right there.
Like, my mic was doing something funky.
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah. That is one of the things. Oh, sorry.
You ever dubbed anything? Like dubbed like someone's voice or like a movie or a different language or anything like that?
No, I mean I've thrown in like little I actually loop grouped a couple times back in the day, which was epically fun. You know why? Because as a Navy lieutenant, I did Greyhound, the Tom Hanks movie. And they brought like 4 or 5 guys who were former Navy, Terry Douglas, who runs this crazy loop group. And we went in and did the Tom Hanks movie. And we were all like, right full rudder, full speed ahead. We were just saying crazy Navy stuff. And the guy's like, yeah, keep it up with that. Keep doing that.
Wait, what's a loop group?
Loop groups, the people who'd go, mama, it's the background people.
Watermelon. But you're not saying you're actually talking.
So you sit there and you improvise a conversation that is the 2 people over Tom Hanks' shoulder in the bar who are like, hey, did you?
Or like eating at the restaurant.
Yeah. But you know what's amazing? It's one of the hardest jobs to get in Hollywood.
It is so hard.
I kept going, hey, please, I'll come back. I'll do it because you get residuals.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I'll get Greyhound checks. I'm telling you, that's why it's quiet. Nobody tells you because and then really what they do is they go, listen, if you are in the group, you can never say no. Like there are people in the group and they basically were actors and then they stopped taking any auditions. And now they own 5 homes all over Los Angeles because they loop grouped all these movies. That's what they do. They loop group. And some of the guys in there I was even amazed. Like they would go, hey, somebody do French. And they go, bonjour, comment allez-vous? And it was crazy. Like some of the guys in the loop groups are just like virtuosos with their voice. It's crazy. And the whole thing. The guy's lifting something like, like filling all the space and stuff. But it's great. It's like this amazing job. But and the loop groups make bank.
That is crazy. The inverse. That is the inverse of what my favorite thing on the internet is right now, which is bad lip reading. Have you guys seen this account?
God, it's so funny. It's my favorite thing.
When it's Beyonce singing the national anthem, she's like, "Scream, cha cha, wow, it's like."
Didn't that guy do Honey Badger was like that? I'm a honey badger. I don't care. Remember that?
Honey Badger
but it's been like since I believe they were doing this back in the 1920s when talkies were
bad lip reading now is like taking like when they were trying to confirm the Speaker of the House, they're like, son, you better get off that donkey. Like it's in the middle of the chamber.
Good. Yeah. And also probably the funniest thing I'd seen. I laughed harder at that in the beginning of this year than anything. It was so funny.
And also, like the Harry and Meghan getting married. There's bad air in here. I smell it too.
Dude, we should do that we should take the videos of our kids, like at church with them talking to each other, and then just fill it in. I'm actually gonna do it.
We should do that. That would be super fun to do.
That would be really.
Speaking of how fun and happy and everything is, we should check in with Jason because I talk to him every day pretty much. How many snow days have you had? And how many days have your kids been sick? And how many days did they send your kids home sick in the last?
Okay, so sick was all of them. They've been sick for like a month and a half. They just keep passing whatever the new virus of the week is, just comes home.
I've gone to the dollar store to buy toothbrushes, and they're using a different toothbrush every night.
Jason, tell him the 24-hour story. That's my favorite of all time. Like you missed the window by like 30 minutes or something.
So our daycare has a policy, which is that you can't come back for 24 hours if you have had a fever, which is pretty standard place. But I missed the window by 15 minutes. And had I come 15 minutes later, they would have let my kid come. And I said, can I just come back in a half hour? They're like, no, you tried now. You can't. And I know it's because they just didn't want my kids at the school that day.
Oh my God.
It happened. They send my kids home so often that I now fact check the fevers. I don't take it on the honor system anymore. I'm like, I need to see it. I need to see the fever.
Yeah, I need to see it.
Because I've been told they have a fever, and then I get there and I get them home 10 minutes later. There's no fever, and they're running around here like Tasmanian devils. No, I need to see it in the school, and it needs to be proven to me.
Yeah,
there's been a pink eye. There was a lice going around. Super fun.
Nope.
We dodged it. We
dodged it too. I got that spray. I got that spray like the day of, and then I was like, I'm spraying everybody's hair. I'm like, I'm spraying their body. I'm spraying their clothes. I'm doing braids. Like, it was.
We were offered a lice picking class, like to learn how to properly pick them, and I was like, huh? When did lice become such a prominent little bastard?
Yeah,
they are. Lice is big.
But it's happening out there too. It's not just here.
Oh yeah, no, it was going around. It was bad for a minute in the second grade class, but a lot of the second graders were bringing it to their first grader siblings, and then it was going around the first grade. Anyway, you know how it goes. And then there was a pink eye moment happening in the preschool. So we got a call the other day from the preschool, and they're like, "Yeah, he's rubbing his eye a lot, and there's pink eye going around. So we're just going to need you to come in. It's not good. You need to come pick him up." And I was like, "Okay, yeah, sure." This is like two hours after I dropped him off. And I'm thinking, weird. Like, I didn't notice anything, but these things come on rapidly. And I'm like on the way there, and I get another call that's like, "Oh, actually, flag on the play. He's fine. He was just his hair was in his eyes. We're just being very cautious." It's like,
couldn't check. Did he rub and they go, call her?
Yes, I think so, because there were so many kids. The kids were literally going down like flies, and they were like, "Oh God, someone's rubbing. Go call. He's out. He's out. Quarantine. He's out."
They're calling on my kids for ever since they flooded the bathroom. The twins flooded the bathroom at the school. They're on a watch list.
Yeah, they're on a no-fly list.
They're on the no bathroom list, no potty list.
So Jace had his first physical where they checked his business.
They should have been checking it all along.
Yeah.
This was the first time he was cognitively aware of what they were doing. And
wait. What does that mean? Are they looking?
They checked to make sure that everything dropped properly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, just asking.
Yeah.
Narcolepsy 27 says Pink Eye Moment is currently touring California county fairs.
Yeah.
I think their opener is Bad Lice. I believe Bad Lice is the opener for that show.
Wait, but Christine, hasn't your son hasn't had his junk checked? Where the doctor will pull down the pants and they'll hold the base and they sort of just check it all out.
I mean, it's been more of a check. Like, he's pretty young still. I don't know that. They haven't. Maybe
he's 4.
He's 4.
Define check, Jason. Define check.
It was just a lift and and a great poke.
Yeah. Okay. That Friends episode is coming back to me where he's like, "That's how they do pants." Yeah, they do in prison.
So the doctor, she checked him over, and he keeps looking at me like, what the hell is this? And afterwards,
lady doctor, come on.
Yes, hello.
And afterwards, he goes, "Well, I wasn't expecting that." And on the way home in the car, he goes to me, he goes, "Next time somebody's going to touch my no-no berries, maybe a little heads up." Sorry, dude.
If you didn't write that down, I can't help you. You've got to write that down. You should have told him. You should have said, "Listen, one day you're gonna expect it, and it's not gonna happen. So just be in the moment. Years from now, you're gonna be married, and you're gonna go, hey, I expect this. Nothing. So you should bask in the glow of what just happened."
Oh, poor kid.
And or use it as an example of, a learning moment where you can actually teach about who's supposed to touch it and who's not. Jason, we
did do that. In fact,
you can totally bag on your wife about not giving it to you enough, or you could use it as a teaching moment to tell them about who should be touching it.
I did. I'm not completely inept at this job.
Did the doctor call them no-no berry? Is that what called?
I don't know where he got no-no berries from. That's new.
Tell me
he definitely got it from you.
He made up no-no berries, or he heard it at school.
No-no berries
I am totally using that. That's
but
gold.
They're also yes berries. Why are
that's what
saying no?
Well, I figure they'll become yes berries in about 5 years.
They can be no-no berries for a while.
For a moment. The no-no berry moment.
Like, we're having that thing where our deal isn't so much touching the no-no berries. it's picking the nose is like a real big thing. And last night we read, I found going through, of course, The Office, which was whatever, molded. Everything had to come out. So I've literally been like going through stuff and throwing out papers and shredding because now we're cleaning it. And I found my old Shel Silverstein book.
Yes.
Like, this could be cute. This was in a box. I'll take it out. I'll read it to the kids. So last night I read them a poem about one of the, someone picking their nose, and I forgot this one. There's a snail in there, and the snail bites the fingers of people who pick their noses, and starts at the tip, and it starts here, and if you put it up too far, like it'll bite the whole darn thing off. That's the way the poem goes. And my son, I could just see him being like, "Oh, is that true, Mama?" And I was like, yes, actually, it is true.
Actually.
You need to start being
we have a tooth fairy, the Santa Claus. Maybe we should have, the nasal monster.
The nasal snail.
The nasal dragon.
He goes, but it's not true because I did it at school and nothing bit my finger. And I was like, well, you got lucky this time, but that snail only grows as you get older.
He has the cutest voice that's ever existed on Earth. That's pretty amazing.
Oh God. His voice is like a beacon. He is the loudest child I have ever heard. And he's still in that mode where he'll say hello to people, but it's not just like your casual hi. It's like, hey, hey.
He's an aggressive greeter.
Hello.
He's Bobcat Goldthwait. I was going to tell you.
And people are sort of like walking along and they're like, oh, hello. They're always sort of startled by, and if they don't say hi to him, he gets really offended. They didn't say hi to me. I don't understand why they don't say hi to me. I'm like, sweetie, people are busy. They're doing their jobs. They're busy. We're at In-N-Out. There was like a window there in the drive-through, and like there's a woman and she's doing her thing and she's cutting and she's busy, and he just like rolls down that window and he's like, hey. And finally she looks up and he's just doing for the longest time. Oh my God. He did it today at F45 on our walk before school. All these people are working out and he just was like, I'll go watch them. I'm like, okay, you go, bro. I'm not standing here because I feel like a creep. So I went ahead and just looked back at him and he just stood there and watched them like this. And there were like these women doing this. They're all like on the ground. And finally, they all ended up looking up and they all thought he was very cute. And then they flocked to him and started waving. But he was just like looking at them. And I was like, dude.
At 4, they can still get away with it.
Yeah. Yes.
He sounds totally like Ruprecht. It's Ruprecht from Dirty Rotten Scoundrels. Hi!
Crazy. So crazy.
All right, listen, I'm leaving it at that. I'm going to let Christine go. We're going to wrap this thing soon. Yes. My kids are downstairs. I'm home alone. Christine, we love you. Thank you so much for coming. And listen, I don't want to wish you ill or harm or anything, but I hope some more bad stuff happens because it's a really funny story.
You're just a great story. Have you ever, Christine, I feel like they need to have you do the Armando at UCB. You need to be the story. You need to be the monologuist, the monologuist.
Oh,
what is it called?
I haven't done that.
I just feel like you should, it's where you just basically, you get a suggestion, then you tell a story and then they base all the improv scenes off of it.
Oh, that would be funny. That would be
you got to do that.
Oh, I would love to.
Such a great storyteller.
Oh, thank you. Well, listen.
I did it at
my misery is for the entertainment of all.
Yeah. You tell the story and then they come out and they improvise the scenes around it. And then you come back out and kind of keep the story going.
Wait, maybe it's not called the Armando. What's it called at UCB?
No, they changed because it's a guy's name at IO.
It's Armando Diaz. You're right. It's at IO. What's the one?
IO.
Anyway,
but it's awesome. But that was back when people used to commune in public and do live shows like that.
I know.
I know. I love those shows, though. I love those storytelling shows.
Christine,
Jason,
please come back. Anything you want to pump? Do people need to come find you? They do. Your Instagram's hilarious. The stuff from the Goldbergs, the photos that you were talking about. It was funny. I saw you and I was like, "Who's that grown man?" Oh my gosh, that's the boy from Goldbergs. He's a grown man.
I know. I'm super nostalgic about it. My last directorial episode airs tomorrow night at 8 p.m. at 8:30 on ABC.
Congrats.
You can check that out. And then I choreographed the series finale. There's a big number in the series, in the opening of the series finale that I'm super, super proud of. It was really fun to do. And then, yeah, I'll have, I think March, I don't know, what is it? March 18th, I think is the rookie. You can see me being very Karen-y on the rookie.
Well, please come back, share more stories. We love having you.
Thanks.
It's so much
Thanks
fun.
for having me. Anytime. Love having you. Love being here, you guys. Appreciate it.
Bye, Christine.
Bye.
She's the best human on the planet.
The best. All right, listen, we're gonna start tightening this thing up. I'm like,
I know. Do you hear my kids watching a Transformers movie that I did not give them permission to watch? I'm like,
my kids are downstairs, and honestly, they were super noisy before. And I kept saying, "You're driving me crazy." And since I've been up here, they're unusually quiet, and I'm kind of terrified.
It's not good. It's not good.
I set the alarm just so I was like, they'll leave the house, they'll go coyote chasing. I don't know what's happening anymore. So,
oh my God.
Really quick. Jason, do you want to say something?
Yep. Next week, next Friday night, St. Patrick's Day, we are going to be doing our first ever virtual reality hangout. If you're available and you have an Oculus, we'll give you details this next Tuesday night on the show.
Yeah, definitely get an Oculus, come in, and that's going to be hilarious. It's going to be really funny to see everybody almost in person. I'm kind of looking forward to it. So that's going to be super cool. If you're watching this on YouTube, please subscribe, follow, like, please review. If you're listening to this on iTunes, thank you so much. Tell another parent who needs to remember that they're not alone in this earth and that we're all actually kind of going through the same horrors and perils on a daily basis.
Except for Christine Lakin. She's got worse plumbing issues than the rest of us.
Is anybody sweeter and happier and funnier about arguably one of the worst things that can ever happen to you in your life? It's a train wreck of a month, right?
Also, Christine Lakin, don't show up with that chiseled jawline. I'm not trying to see that. How dare you?
She's 8.
How
She's
dare you?
Still a child actor in a way. Jason, any final words from you, sir?
No, I love everybody.
Oh.
Did you hear the passive aggressive sarcasm in there? That's what I enjoyed the most out of that. All right, JB Kaler, Kate Mulligan, Jason Gowan here at the Parents Lounge. We'll see you guys next week. Thanks for joining us.
Good night, everybody.